What's going on, everybody? It's Royalty Crypto here and welcome back to my channel. So today, unfortunately, the crypto and stock market are crashing, and this is due to the fact that people are treating this government shutdown ending as a sell the news event, and I will be talking about that in just a moment. I'm also going to be explaining to you guys why I'm personally staying bullish on this market and actually taking advantage of these significant dips that we're seeing today. But before we get into all of that, this is a brand new YouTube channel, and I would greatly appreciate it if you guys could like and subscribe. But without further ado, let's take a look at some asset prices. So as you guys can see here, Bitcoin is currently below $100,000, sitting at $98,400. Ethereum is under $3,200. Solana is back under $150, sitting at $142.7. So in my opinion, guys, before you freak out and sell all of your crypto and say that we're going into a bear market, what we're actually experiencing here, guys, is a classic buy the rumor, sell the news event. Now, I understand that some of you might think that's not possible because nobody bought the rumor, but that's actually not true, and I will be showing you data on that in just a brief moment. But first, guys, let's take a look at what actually happened with this government shutdown. So late last night, President Trump signed a government funding package at the White House, formally ending the longest government shutdown in US history, which was 43 days long. So ridiculous that it even got to this point, guys. I mean, it's childish to say the very least. But nonetheless, it happened, and it is now officially over, at least for now, because when you scroll down just a bit here, you can see that the legislation extends funding for most agencies until January 30th of 2026. So guys, if the government can't figure out this situation before January 30th, there's a chance that we could end up going into yet another government shutdown. Now, I don't think that we could afford as a nation to go into another government shutdown in January, so I really hope that they do all in their power to get this worked out before then. But nonetheless, guys, this is a bit of a concern for markets. So we'll just have to see what happens leading up to that date. And in my opinion, the reason why we ended up seeing a sell the news event is because late yesterday, the bulls started to gain a lot of confidence that the news of a potential government shutdown ending would cause the price of Bitcoin and crypto to explode. But unfortunately, they got a bit too confident and started to bet significant amounts of money on leverage trades. So when you trade on leverage, guys, you're basically trading with money that you don't have. So if the price of Bitcoin drops below a certain price, you lose your entire position. And that's essentially what's causing this sell-off to happen, because people that bet on leverage yesterday are being forced to sell massive positions because the price of Bitcoin is dropping. And this is causing a bit of a long squeeze in the short term. But in my opinion, guys, this is no reason to be freaking out whatsoever. I understand that watching your crypto portfolio dip in the short term is incredibly frustrating. I get frustrated as well. I can't lie about that. But guys, the government shutdown ending is actually incredibly bullish for the short term and the medium term for crypto. And this is why. So as you can see here, we will be receiving economic data yet again. During the shutdown, the release of crucial economic data such as employment and inflation reports is often delayed or suspended. And that's exactly what we saw with this shutdown. We weren't receiving any of the crucial quantitative data that Jerome Powell needs in order to make a rate cut decision. And you can see that that has been reflected on the CME Group FedWatch tool, as we currently only have a 52% chance of having a rate cut in December. Unfortunately, guys, back when Bitcoin was at 125,000 and breaking all-time highs, it was basically priced in that we'd be receiving a rate cut in December. I don't believe that that's priced in whatsoever now because of the amount of uncertainty in the market. So hopefully now that the government shutdown is officially over, some of this quantitative data will start to be released again, and hopefully it's in line with what Jerome Powell needs to cut rates. Because if the odds of a rate cut in December end up going back up to around 90% or higher, then the market will start to price that in yet again, and I believe that that could potentially cause a Bitcoin and crypto rally in late Q4 going into Q1 of 2026. Now, another reason why I believe that the government reopening is so bullish is because now all of the federal workers that weren't getting paid will be receiving their missed paychecks, and this could cause a temporary liquidity event in markets. Now, a lot of these federal workers were struggling very much over the past 40 days because obviously when you're not getting paid and you still have bills coming in, you have to find a way to pay these bills and survive survive during that period of time. So it was very likely that a lot of these workers ended up having to sell some assets that they owned. For example, stocks, crypto, etc. And in my opinion, this is part of the reason why we saw the crypto market fall so much in the past couple of weeks. Now these federal employees will be receiving back pay for the past 43 days, and those checks should be coming in within the next couple of days. Now, this could cause all the federal workers to have extra money that they don't necessarily need, which could cause a lot of that money to be dumped back into the stock and crypto market, which kind of causes a bit of a bullish liquidity event for markets. So we'll just have to see if any of that money actually does flood back into the market. And last but not least, guys, a functioning government brings increased clarity on everything from air traffic to social programs and future policy decisions. This reduction in political risk and policy uncertainty is typically welcomed by markets, which generally prefer stability. So guys, the markets love clarity and hate uncertainty. And when the government is shut down for 43 days, it creates uncertainty, and we just talked about a lot of that. Having the government reopen, guys, should be a very bullish catalyst, to say the very least. All right, guys, and the last thing that I wanted to talk about is the crypto fear and greed index. So currently we're sitting at a 25, but this actually doesn't update until later tonight. So when this does update, I wouldn't be surprised if we're actually around an 18 or 19 and officially back into extreme fear. So this is not financial advice, but whenever we're this low on fear and even potentially in extreme fear, I think it is a great time to be accumulating altcoins, Bitcoin, basically anything. I do believe that we will return to greed and even extreme greed sometime within the next 4 to 6 months. We have so many bullish catalysts coming up with potential rate cuts, quantitative easing around the corner, and Jerome Powell hopefully being replaced by a much more dovish Fed chair in May of next year. I believe that all of these catalysts will bring euphoria back to the market. So personally, what I'm doing, guys, is I am taking advantage of this dip today, and I am not letting the falling prices of crypto affect my overall perspective on the market. I'm personally a macro trader, and I love to buy when the market is in fear, and I believe that that is the best strategy that you can deploy in the crypto market. So yeah, that's going to do it for this video today, guys. I know that today is a very frustrating day, and I'm sure that a lot of you have been affected emotionally by this. But guys, take a deep breath and don't let these prices affect you. It's very likely that within the next couple of days to weeks, these prices will recover and start to trend towards the upside yet again, now that we have increased clarity in the market. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content, and I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. Peace.